Welcome to the NEC. The main arena is filling up. We have the Agility Championship coming up shortly. This is round 2. We had the jumping this morning earlier on. Agility now. 16 large dogs, 19 small, 18 medium. And Graham, people who've been following it over the days start to understand a little bit about agility and a little bit about what's required. But so far as qualification for tonight's finals concerned, what exactly are the competitors looking for here?
Well, this is the creme de la creme, and this is the title that everybody wants. Crufts champion every year. In the same way that you can make up a breed dog to a champion, you can make up an agility dog to an agility champion. So throughout the year they have championship classes. If they win 3 championship classes under separate judges, they gain the title of agility champion. All the people that we see running here in the main arena at Crufts today will have won a championship agility certificate within the last 12 months, and we will also include last year's winner. And this is a special event, and this event is worth 2 challenge certificates, so therefore you get 3, and providing they go round clear in the final round, they will be awarded the title agility champion, and more importantly, Crufts agility champion.
So briefly, how many actually get into tonight's big final? How does that work?
Well, there have been 16 championship classes this year. So we will have the winner of each of one of those has been invited to do. It's only the last 12 months winners that get invited here each year at Crufts.
And we've had a lot of questions about some of the technicalities of what goes on, and one where we've pretty much been inundated with questions, people wanting to know more about the weave. It's really a sort of a technical discipline. This is where the dogs weave in and out of the poles, and 2 distinct ways in which the dogs do it. It's either slalom or effectively paddling. Let's just have a look at it and talk us through which is the better.
Well, in my opinion, the brown dog's method is much better. It pushes off from paw to paw and wastes less time, whereas the 2-footed method, the jumping through, they waste more time because they're in the air for longer.
And can you coach this? I don't know if we can just watch it again, but can you coach this? Watch how the dog on the left leaps with both paws, effectively slaloming and going from 1 foot together on the right. Is that something which is innate, or can you coach it? Can you train it?
You can coach it, however, it is quite difficult. Dogs like to do things in their own way naturally, and sometimes trying to actually artificially teach a dog to do something another way is actually more difficult.
Lovely. Well, that clarifies it, and all of you who were interested in that, hope that makes a little bit more sense of it. Now, the course has been set out for what is going on, and there they are. The competitors have had a look at it. And what do you make of this particular course, Graham?
Lovely course. It's a very difficult job trying to set a championship course here at Crufts. It has to be just testing enough to make sure that it is a challenge. It is, after all, a test, but it also has to be flowing and entertaining for all concerned.
Well, some of the technical points here, some of the technical, the jumps are pretty straightforward. The weaves we've looked at in detail. But tell us a bit about the dog walk, the A-frame and the seesaw, because those are points at which quite often penalty points are imposed.
Now, on each of the contact equipment, as we call them, the seesaw, the A-frame and the dog walk, they have to make contact with the white bits on the way up and on the way down. If they don't, they get a fault.
And those faults tend to come in when competitors are really pushing for time, isn't it? Here comes the judge for today's event. That's Roger Griffin. Roger won the fly ball way back in 1995.
Roger's an extremely experienced agility competitor and judge. When you get asked to judge this competition, this is the pinnacle of your judging career. Great honour for Roger, and I know he's thrilled to be here.
Well, our first competitor here, this is the large category. Natalie Mitchell with Teak, a 6-year-old working sheepdog. They come from Carmarthenshire in Wales. The objective, speed, but also to get round clear. and they've already picked up 5 faults here, I'm afraid to say, as they go through the collapsible tunnel.
Yes, picking up for a refusal now. We're coming into the slightly more straightforward part as we come down towards the weaves. They must go to the right of the first pole, and alternately after that over the long jump and into the entrance of the tunnel that's not obvious to them.
Over the dog walk, have to touch that white area on the way down, and there's another refusal. That's going to be another 5 points, another 5 penalty points. So up to the finish, gets round okay, 41.876, but there were 10 faults.
10 faults, both of which were refusals, and you can see that Natalie just sends the dog towards the tunnel. 3 refusals anywhere on the course, unfortunately, is a mandatory elimination.
Onwards with Jackie Tarn from Barnard Castle. This is Becca, a 9-year-old bitch, a working sheepdog. Jackie says Becca is 1 in a million and that they're soulmates. And she can sum up her work in one word: awesome. Let's see if she can produce an awesome round. Nice sharp start through the tunnel. Jackie keeping very close tabs on the dog, giving instructions and guidance all the way around, as she has to. It's about a partnership, this.
It's absolutely about a partnership, and it's all about straight lines, not necessarily all about speed. This dog has had some really good lines, no time wasted there, no confusion, and that's what it's all about.
Good over the dog walk, seemingly that's okay, and no faults incurred so far. Moving really well, and now moving round towards the conclusion stage, over the final jump, and 36.919, and that is a clear round.
That is a fantastic round. Excellent time, sub 37 seconds, no confusion at all. It's all about communication between dog and handler. You watch Jackie working that dog all the way around there, and the dog listening to every word. Fantastic round.
So,
next to go Lauren Langman with Tiki from Oakhampton, 7-year-old border collie. Lauren says that Tiki is just an awesome little dog. You can see the time to beat, the line's looking good so far through the tunnel and moving well. Again, close instructions, there's 1 or 2 vocal instructions as well, and the dog right up with the handler.
Vocal instructions and body language is all they can use to control the dogs. They can't touch them. This is actually the first of 2 dogs that Lauren's got in this final, and you can see why had a fantastic year.
Over the dog walk, and that's okay. Touching the white area on the downslope, which has to be done, and now moving towards the penultimate jump up to the end, and over she goes, and another clear round, 38.643, puts her in second at this stage.
Really good, and what they're trying to do is avoid the dreaded elimination. If you're eliminated in either the jumping or the agility, you cannot qualify for this evening's final. They take the results of both of the competitions, combine them, and then come up with tonight's finalists.
Lee Windy out there. His dog, pet name Pip, another border collie, 7 years old, from Sittingbourne in Kent. Darley Falls Pipistrel is the Sunday name, and away they go. Over the seesaw nicely, going a little bit wide there. Fractions lost in that. The line's so important, as Graham's been telling you, and through the tunnel, and now to the collapsible tunnel.
Nicely through there, no time wasted on a nice running dog walk, having to pull the dog towards the weaves. Opted to cross behind now as we come. Look at him get in front of that dog and actually get in front of it and block the entrance to that tunnel.
This is looking good. Over the dog walk. That's good again. And now it's a race against the clock. 3 to go, 2 to go. It's not going to be quite quick enough. Up to the final jump, and good. Another clear round, 39.199.
Very nice, steady, clear round. And you look at how far Lee is away from that dog. And he blocks the entrance to the tunnel. All legal, providing the dog doesn't run into him, and he does it deliberately. That's great, well done.
Charlotte Harding with Scandal, last year's winner. 5th time at Crufts. Charlotte's been doing agility for 16 years. A gold medal in the World Championships there was for Scandal as well last year. This is one of the favourites, and moving beautifully so far. Economy of movement from the handler as well. Precision from the dog, that's lovely, really good.
Very quiet handler, you'd never see her get upset, and that does help because it just helps with the communication. Having a fantastic couple of years is Charlotte.
over the dog walk. Again, beautifully done. And this looks quick, but perhaps more importantly, in qualification for tonight's final, there are 5 faults imposed there, but goes round okay, and that was quick, 36.6.
Yes, picking up a penalty there.
Well, where did it come? Wasn't instantly apparent. Let's have another look.
No.
It leapt on, I think.
And there you see the judge's hand go up, and that was for the up on the dog walk. Very well spotted.
Hannah Holdsworth with Bell from Scunthorpe, a working sheepdog. Part of the squad for Team GB and Team England for the World, for the WAO. Time to beat 36.919. All clean so far. Hope I don't put a curse on it with that, but that's good on the A-frame. Just a little momentary pause.
Little momentary pause, that's to make sure that the dog understands what she wants it to do. She's not really about winning this, it's about making sure she puts in a very reasonable, clear round to get her into the final this evening.
Dog barking happily on the way round. Dogs really enjoy this. And moving now to the final jump, it's a quick time and a clear round, 37.966.
It was a quick time, just over a second outside, and over that distance, that's nothing. Just making sure this evening you won't see her holding that dog on there for that long.
Safety first for these handlers, trying to get the dog safely round. Dave Munnings now with Boss, 6-year-old Border Collie. They made the journey from Newbury to be here at Crufts 2016. Nice tight turn, showing the dog where to go through the tunnel and the collapsible tunnel, and looking pretty good on the A-frame as well.
Into the weaving poles, David encouraging it all the way, clapping and just vocally encouraging it. Again, opts to get in front of the tunnel and block it.
Lots of experience from Dave Munnings and handling this dog beautifully, and Boss now moving towards the closing stages of the course. This could be the quickest, coming up to the final jump and just outside, 37.705 into second place.
A lovely smooth round there. Boss just can't get through those weaving poles quick enough, can he? And looking to see where David is.
Lucy Hensley from Hewish with Pixie, 5-year-old Border Collie. First time competing at Crufts, and Lucy really enjoying the experience, and she says that she hopes this is the first of many times that she's going to be here, and hopefully Pixie as well. Look how much she's enjoying it and looking forward to it. Away we go, 36.919, the time they're looking for. Oh, just a little bit of indecision there, a little bit of time lost. And through the tunnel, no faults imposed though. Over the A-frame, a bit of a leap on and a bit of a leap off.
Yes, just a little bit of an experience here from Lucy, but she's still doing really well. They've still managed to win a challenge certificate in this year. And
I'm afraid there's been an elimination, went the wrong side of one of the jumps, I think. And that was in the early stages. So despite the fact Pixie moving really well, whoopsie-daisy, going the wrong way momentarily, but the crowd enjoying it, the dog enjoying it, but Lucy with the elimination won't be into the final.
Unfortunately, you'll see here that she misses the push through. She actually sends the dog over the jump. What she meant to do was actually push the dog through that gap and then have her come over the green one towards her.
This is Bonnie Quick with Hayley, an 8-year-old Kelpie cross collie from Wellington in Somerset. She's had success with this dog, and she says an absolute joy to be running at Crufts once again with Hayley. But 5 faults already imposed through the tunnel into the collapsible tunnel now. There you go, it's starting to really pick up speed. This is a really athletic dog.
Very quick dog. Sometimes not quite so easy to control, but she does a fantastic job. Again, opting to get in front of the dog, turning very smooth there as she approaches the dog walk.
Over the dog walk. Oh, and that was close, but yeah, another 5 faults have been imposed, I'm afraid. So 10 faults now, but still going, and needs to get round, needs to complete, which she does. And Hayley goes round, but 10 faults.
So it's nicely made seesaw there. And again, just getting a paw on the down. Unfortunately, she got marked on the up.
This is Martin Reed, one of the younger competitors, with 3-year-old Spring. Spring's first time competing at Crufts, and they're from Devon. This is a 3-year-old dog. Raring to go. Now they do go. Good over the seesaw, over the Eukanuba, now through the tunnel, all looking nice and tidy so far. Through the tunnel once more, then onto the collapsible tunnel. Just a moment of indecision once more, but going pretty well, Graham.
Again, very tight. Oh, and just has a pole down, so that'll be 5 faults. So he'll want to just make sure he pushes on now, because with 5 faults, he could still qualify for the final, but he wants to be one of the faster 5 faults now. And
the dog is going really well. Close control from Martin. Oh, I'm afraid to say that was time lost again. Up towards the final jump. 36.873 though. That is really quick.
It was, and our judge, Roger Griffin, having a fantastic time. Just picking up an elimination for going over the wrong jump at the end there, which is a shame. And anybody with an elimination, unfortunately, cannot qualify. There he is over the wrong jump.
What a pity.
Cannot qualify for the final. Anyone with eliminations out.
This is Quincy with Matthew Goodliff from Long Buckby in Northamptonshire, a 7-year-old border collie, part of Team GB, who won the World Championship team for 2014, one of many titles that he's won with this dog. Quincy, loads of experience, not the fastest mover maybe, but moving really well and accurately, choosing a good line, and lovely and clean so far, just touching that bar but didn't go down.
No, and again, leading the dog away, just opting to pull the dog off the wrong end of the tunnel there, over the dog walk. There'll be no time wasted here.
Got to really go for it now. It looks as though it's going to be quick. Listen to the dog, enjoying every moment. 2 to clear, up towards the final jump. It's going to be just outside, but a lovely clear round in 37.783, up into 3rd place.
Great effort there by this combination. They really do handle it very well. Lots of verbal commands and sliding down, and even on the rubber he's sliding.
Lauren Langman with her second dog from Oakhampton. This is Fiji, a 5-year-old border collie bitch. And she says Fiji is a really cool dog to run with, and they have so much fun together. Nice start. Oh, I'm afraid to say not so. And there was a real problem there, Graham. Tell us what happened as you saw it.
She opted to handle that little section from the arena side of it. There are 2 ways of actually doing that. You can either come to the edge or go into the middle, and just wasn't quite clear enough with her cues about what she wanted the dog to do. It is all about communication after all. The dog doesn't know where it's supposed to go, so it's totally dependent on the handler. And sometimes communications break down, and that's just what happened there in just that split second of time. But still a good effort. That was the second of the 2 dogs that she'd qualified.
Wrong options, I'm afraid, and eliminated for taking the wrong fence at the wrong jump at the end there, and so I'm afraid won't be in the final. Louise Rain with Ski. Hope that's not Sky. 6-year-old working sheepdog from Barnard Castle, full-time agility trainer. Away they go. Oh dear. And down came that barrier, and I'm afraid to say that is 5 faults at a very early stage.
And as she picks up 5 faults for a refusal, and unfortunately she has not gone back and completed the A-frame, which means that the next obstacle she took was out of order, so that is an elimination. So unfortunately that's another one that we won't be seeing in tonight's final. We've got 16 people competing in the large, and the rules say that the top 50% up to a maximum of 20, but so this occasion we could see up to 8 people in the final tonight, providing they haven't been eliminated. And there we are, the dog just trying to, he just got a bit under it and took it off on the way round, which is really unfortunate. And then she decides that she's not going to do very well and decides to carry on. But well done.
Here's Alan Short from Kirkcaldy in Scotland, and the Scottish fans giving him a big welcome. And this is 6-year-old Bruce, his border collie dog. represented GB in Scotland at numerous international competitions. Alan describes Bruce as a really dedicated and driven dog. Lots of experience, and this is one who could go very well. Let's see how well the start is. Oh dear, just a bit of a skid there, and never really regained balance, and bringing down one of the jumps, one of the poles on the floor there, and with that, 5 faults.
This is where he mustn't dwell on the fault. He must just now concentrate on the moment that he's in. He's got to keep going. What he wants now is a fast 5 faults, and unfortunately picking up another 5 there for the long jump.
Well, this is a pity, because this is a good dog and a quick dog, but it hasn't quite worked out. Turning towards the penultimate jump, coming up towards the U-Caneuver at the end, 39.319, but 10 faults.
Could well still see him in it for this evening. They just need to work out the points, and unfortunately the dog just not judging that correctly, and they do come off very, very easily.
A second dog for Dave Munnings from Newbury. This is 4-year-old Fame, a Border Collie bitch, and it's Fame's first time at Crufts. This is his more inexperienced dog, and already has picked up 5 faults. I think that was on the seesaw, through the tunnel once again to the collapsible tunnel, but now just trying to get round in a decent time with these 5 faults.
Yes, but a totally different dog from the first one he's got, so he has to adjust his handling technique as well. Very successful dog this, and it's got a great future in front of it as well. He's nowhere near finished yet with this dog. Really
quick dog as well, and this is going to be a rapid time as they come round towards the final jump. 5 faults, but the quickest time we've seen, 34.594. That dog can really motor.
Can, but what you have to bear in mind here that he didn't complete the seesaw correctly, so he's going to have gained time on the people that did complete it correctly. So swings and roundabouts.
Karen Marriott with Puzzle, a 7-year-old collie cross retriever. Another dog from Lincolnshire, this time from Gainsborough. Puzzle's competed at Crufts a few times before, a venue that they both love. And Karen says that Puzzle really enjoys running in front of crowds, and she's one of those dogs that really likes to make a lot of noise. Already 1 jump is down, so that's 5 faults through the tunnel for the second time. They seem to be having trouble with those jumps at the beginning, just before the tunnel.
They do. They're just trying to shave it just that bit too much. They should be pushing him and giving him a bit more of a chance, especially when a couple of dogs have already done it. They should be learning from what's gone on before them.
Well, very quick over the dog walk, now turning, just 3 jumps still to go. It's going to be a fairly rapid time, 5 faults, but over with 37.004. Could be good enough, we'll wait and see.
Yes, it's quite a complicated scoring system. They combine the results effectively, they issue points, and then they work out who is going to be qualified for the final. That's the end of the large dogs. And that dog's just having a great time. Oh, where is everybody?
So there's the final standings, and victory for Jackie Tarn with her working sheep dog Becca. Dave Munnings, as you see, in second place. Matthew Goodliff in third. Those are final standings for the agility, the second section this morning. And we'll give you the overall standings in a moment or two. 3 dogs eliminated there, and another one there, so they won't take any place in the final. Overall, this is how they stood. And Jackie Tarn, she's the lead qualifier overall through into the final. Good for Becca. 50% go through into tonight's final. There were 16, so the top 8 make it. Course being adjusted now for the small category, so the height obviously has to come down.
It does. The height of the jumps and the tyre and the long jumps all reduced. The course remains the same. The course time for these is 51 seconds, so keep an eye on the clock.
This is one to watch. Claire Burrell with Teasel from Yaxham. 5-year-old working Cocker Spaniel, loves Crufts and won on her debut last year in the championship class. Qualified for 2 classes this year at Crufts, the singles and the championship, and it's a nice start through the tunnel for the first time. Real enthusiastic little dog. This is Cocker Spaniel, and Teasel is moving very nicely over the A-frame.
It is. We had some questions this week about whether the small, medium or large dogs are actually quicker than each other. The large was 1 in 36 or 37 seconds, so keep an eye on this dog. It's really rapid.
Well, we've got 100 points, and I think there's been a disqualification. I'm not quite sure where that came. Did you pick that one up, Graham?
Yes, unfortunately it came on the combination down at 4, I believe. And there we are, completely missed the pull through there, but it happens in a flash of an eye. But luckily Roger Griffin's more than up to the task.
Glad Roger picked that one up. This is Claire Foden, comes from near Whitchurch. Clive Foden, I beg your pardon, comes from near Whitchurch in Shropshire. Sorry about that, Clive. Pet name is Poppy, a 5.5-year-old Shetland sheepdog. Says that Clive says that Poppy's not the fastest, but she became an agility champion last year before she was 5 years old, and has since moved on really well. Clive is now 70 years old, and he says that one of the problems is trying to keep up with her.
Clive's been doing it a good few years. Turns out dog after dog of a consistently high quality, and you can just see this little dog's having an absolute ball. So Clive's looking now to get a bit of a head start down the dog walk.
He doesn't move too badly neither, and neither does his little dog. Over to the penultimate jump, now up towards the finish, and that's a really nice clear round. Good start, 40.667.
Really good start, good time, just over 40 seconds, and this dog is not a nanosecond wasted as he comes down there, barking his enjoyment all the way through. Fantastic little dog this is.
Lauren Langman with 2-year-old Blink, young dog, a working Cocker Spaniel from Oakhampton. Lauren says that Blink is the happiest dog on the whole planet, in her opinion. She wags her tail non-stop and simply loves to work. Trying to get the message across, came to Lauren as a failed gun dog, but already achieving an awful lot as an agility competitor, and pretty good through those weaves as well.
Very good, only 2 years of age, extremely enthusiastic, having a time of its life out there, and coping for the first time, I would think, very well with this carpet. Oh, she took her eyes off it.
Oh dear, dear, dear. Went the wrong way round there. That is a shame. Oh, round wrong way once more. But what a little star Blink is. She's not going to be in the final, and Lauren isn't going to have her dog in the final. But that's one to remember, just 2 years old and bags of enthusiasm and loads of pace.
And unfortunately, Lauren just looked to see where she was going, fractionally turned her back on the dog, looking to do a blind turn, I think, and the dog said, right, I'm going to go where I think I need to go. Never mind, a great dog, great future in front of it.
A 7-year-old miniature poodle here, Tatiana, or Tatty for short, with Alan Bray from Milton Keynes. See how well this noisy little poodle can go. Little bark of enjoyment, and you see the time to beat, 40.667 through the tunnel for the second time, and going well so far.
Lovely, enthusiastic little dog. Alan, vastly experienced, actually judged this class last year, and he'll be looking to get into the final and just show them how good miniature poodles really are.
Well, we talked about different breeds who are going to be good for this, and different breeds, many of them. You see the speciality dogs like the Spaniels and the Border Collies, but others are very good at it as well. And here's one who's gone brilliantly. 41.454 into second place.
Another master tactician is Alan. He knows exactly what he needs to do to get into this championship final. Just taking it quite steady, but as you say, ears and tail going everywhere. You see Alan just twisting and turning, trying to get the dog on the right side.
A Cocker Spaniel here. This is 7-year-old Twiggy with Samantha Lane from Milton Keynes. Agility champion this year, and it was Samantha's first ever agility champion. Samantha says she used to scare her with how fast she can run. Competing in the championship as well with her 3 puppies. But I'm afraid to say going wrong in the early stages there, and time lost.
Such a shame. Elimination there. She just kept her shoulders facing towards the tunnel, and the dog decided to pick it up. But this dog is doing absolutely fantastically well. She's had a great year. She's very proud of this little dog, and especially being able to let them strut their stuff here at the centre stage at Crufts.
Can motor, can't it, Twiggy? Look, listen to her barking away round. Not going to be in the final, but simply loving the moment.
Lovely pull through here, flicks back and then just lifts that right arm up and almost points the dog into the tunnel. It happens so quickly.
This is Bernadette Bay with Gizmo, 4-year-old Shetland sheepdog from Fittleworth in West Sussex. This is Gizmo's first Crufts championship, and Bernadette says that he's a little dude with a big attitude. He's going to have to produce a big performance now.
Probably one of the most successful small dog agility handlers that we've ever seen. Always turns out some fantastic shelties. And she never seems to be going very quickly, but I can assure you this dog will be right in the mix, if not winning it at the end.
Slalom, oh dear, went in the wrong way, so that is an elimination. Crossed hand signal from the judge, Roger Griffin.
I think I'm going to go and have to apologise to Bernadette. I think that was commentator's curse. Such a shame.
Just at the moment that you'd given it large for Bernadette.
I did. And then just the dog took the wrong cue. Such a shame.
Rosie Cavell with Dare. This is a 5-year-old Cocker Spaniel and a Welsh Cocker Spaniel. They've made the journey up from Newport in South Wales. And away they go. Onto the seesaw and nicely over there. Now this is where there have been so many problems, but doing well across those 2 jumps and through the tunnel. Encouragement. Now has to turn and go through the other way, and well achieved as well.
Picking up some speed now, gaining some confidence. This dog won't have run on this fantastic carpet here at Crufts more than on a couple of occasions, and they do take just a little while to adjust, and she's doing fantastically well now. This is, I think, going to be quite a good time.
It's looking good, it's looking sharp, needs to be good on the dog walk, and was. Oh, big wide turn, a little bit of time lost there, but it's going to be quick enough, I think. Coming up to the penultimate jump now, turning for the final. Is it going to be there? Oh, just outside. 31.066 puts Rosie and Dare into second place.
Such a shame. I think she just thought at one stage that she was heading towards the finish when she wasn't, and we had such a wide turn. See, look, I think she thinks she's going to the finish, and that is probably where she's lost that class. But she's clear, and that's all that matters.
Mark Wingate Wynn. This is a little character, 7-year-old toy poodle called Mr. Big, and simply loves the big stage at Crufts. Mark, a member of the current GB squad, and they've come down from Derby, competed at World and European Championships for GB, and there's the time to beat. This is a little dog that likes to make a bit of noise all the way around, and a real character is Mr. Big.
Little dog, big attitude, and you can see why. I love watching this dog run. He just personifies to me how much fun it is, and the real character of the sport. Mark just busting a gut to get in front of him. There he is.
And you can hear the happy barks as Mr. Big now comes up towards the dog walk and has every opportunity here, moving well. That's a lovely sharp turn. It's on to the penultimate jump, coming up now towards the... Oh, a little bit of time lost there. Over in 39.838. And that, despite a little bit of indecision seemingly at the end, puts Mr. Big into the lead.
Well, unfortunately, he had 5 faults on the dog walk. Happened so quickly. Lots of barking, but he just kept going as though nothing had happened. And as I say, nobody had told the dog he got a fault.
Well, apologies for that. Didn't see that given by the judge, but there were those 5 faults. This is Cindy with Mark Bruce, a 7-year-old Jack Russell cross from Broxburn in West Lothian. Mark Bruce is 63 years old and he's been competing for 10 years. Lots of noise from Cindy, loving it. Through the tunnel, now over the jump, and through the tunnel now for a second time. came a little bit wide, wee bit of time lost there.
Making sure that he gets close to every obstacle just to make sure that there is no confusion about which one the dog needs to do. Clapping his hands as he's going down there, trying to get that a bit of... Oh, he's missed a pole. Missed a pole.
An elimination because of that.
Yes, came out at about pole 10. Normally you'd have to go back and correct that in order not to be eliminated, but he decided that, well, I think he probably, by the time he'd realised it, the dog had done the wrong jump anyway, so it was too late to correct it. But such a shame, picking up an elimination, and unfortunately we won't be seeing him this evening. And unfortunately, yep, he's over that long jump before he can do anything.
Anne Edwards now, from Dorking, with 10-year-old Pomeranian cross collie, Roxy. Beautiful little cross, a rescue dog, now 10 years old. And Anne says just so pleased, so keen to please in all aspects of life. And a good little dog who's moving well.
One of the happiest handlers I ever see, and unfortunately picking up 5 faults there, but she's got to keep going. She mustn't dwell on that.
It was on the dog walk, I think, those faults imposed, wasn't it, Graham?
I'm not sure. I think it was the A-frame.
Was it the A-frame? Oh, yeah, of course, because here's the dog walk now. Got to touch the white area on both sides. That's the regulation. So 5 faults, but looks as though they're going to go round OK. So may still make it through into tonight's final. And lots of crowd support for a very enthusiastic little dog. And here was the A-frame. Oh, there you go.
A couple of inches in that, but as I say, we'll just have to wait and see and how the results go this evening.
Hayley Tyndall from Usselby near Market Raisin. With Fifi, a 5-year-old toy poodle. Hayley had a kidney transplant in 2013 and Fifi operations on both her knees in 2012. So 2nd year of competing and first time at Crufts. And Fifi says Hayley has a real big attitude for a small dog, and both of them love the colour pink. Pink.
And it is a small dog as well. And this is where sometimes, oh, and she's missed a weaving pole as well. But this time she decides she's got her head screwed on. She's going to take the dog back, get them completed correctly, and then she can carry on. Oh,
she's done it again.
So it's only 1 fault in those weaves when it comes out at the end. They can only be marked once.
For the 3rd time of asking. This time it's okay. Nicely over the long jump. But the time, of course, is slow. 10 faults there, 3 to jump now, and little Fifi coming around up towards the final jump and through in just over a minute, but with those faults.
So quite a sensible decision. She calls the dog back and then she goes, and providing she gets the entry correct this time, there's no faults there. She's already had 5 faults in it. And there we go, another fault.
That's Kayla, a 6-year-old Jack Russell. Donna Curse is the handler from Galashiels in Scotland. Oh dear. Whoops. Off they go. Time to beat. And they've got a bit to do now to make up for lost time.
Well, I think he rolled and came up running, as they say, and carried on, and that's just a sign of the dog's confidence and ability in himself. As she did check to make sure that he was all right before he's carried on. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with him at all.
He's a little dog, but he can jump and he can motor up towards the dog walk. Leapt on, but I think it was okay, and okay down the downslope as well. And now 3 to clear. The time's a good one. It's going to be the fastest over the final jump. 40.065. Well, I said it was going to be the fastest, and it was by 0.02 of a second. Yeah,
I think, and I think that was probably a slightly steadier round from her. And as you can see, it's having a one to watch if it makes it through to this evening's finals.
Bonnie Quick with Shelley from Wellington in Somerset. A Jack Russell cross collie who's 3 years old, and Bonnie says that Shelley has a heart of gold. This is her debut at Crufts, and Bonnie's young dog. Last year at 2 years old, she became one of the youngest ever agility champions, winning 4 tickets in quick succession, and a really great future ahead of her, she reckons. Ooh, bit of indecision there.
Yeah, bit of a decision, but also she's got a mind for this evening's final. She wants the dog to come right down to the bottom there, and this evening you won't see any hesitation at all. But this is going to be quick again.
Look how quick over the dog walk. Again, oh yes, just making absolutely sure the judge notices that, no doubt. Oh, what a leap that was, and again, real spring heels, and up to the final jump. And despite those pauses, 39.841, clear round and the quickest.
Yeah, she knows exactly what she's doing here when she holds these contacts. Just making sure that the dog is learning, and just, as you say, this evening, that dog will be off there before you can do anything.
That was really good. Now Lucy Osborne with Fling, a 3-year-old German Spitzklein from Lincoln. Fling is a crazy, loud ball of fun, says Lucy. A total diva with lots of passion. That's the dog we're talking about, by the way.
Yeah, well, I think they're both a bit like that, but lots of passion for her dog training is Lucy. This is her young dog's got a great future in part of it. Part of this year's GB squad, and was in the team last year, and it's only 3. Great future in front of them, I predict.
Lovely weaving, good long jump, and it's looking pretty sharp, this one, over the dog walk. Good on the upslope, and was that okay on the downslope? I think it was. 3 to clear. Look at the clock, 39.841, and this is really quick. Over the last barrier, 38.508. The last jump cleared, and Lucy Osborne is the fastest so far.
Love it when I'm right. Yeah, great run, and a lot of that time was made up on the dog walk. You just watch this. The dog just hardly breaks stride, and it got a couple of strides on there. That's where you can pick up so much time.
Curtis Mullen with Callie from Bangor in Northern Ireland. 6-year-old Sheltie, and off we go. And 5, I'm afraid, straight away imposed there for a refusal. And I think it was at the tyre, wasn't it?
Yes, on the first obstacle, and just seems to be getting quite close to the dog at the moment, which is causing a few problems. And there we are again. He crossed the dog's line and actually took it away from the A-frame. Such a shame. So 10 faults. He needs to now concentrate and forget what's gone on and try and get round clear. But again, another 5, a refusal there, and unfortunately an elimination for 3 refusals.
Completing the course nevertheless. The dog doesn't know it's done anything wrong, of course. Maybe you could argue the dog hasn't done anything wrong.
And as you say, in the dog's eyes, he's still out there having fun. And the only person who can tell the dog he's gone wrong is the handler by his body language and everything else. The dog broke its weight, and he wasn't ready for it to come, and that's really annoying. Calling it back.
This is Stacey Irwin Burns from Brighton with a 6-year-old Jack Russell cross poodle called Pixie. Pixie's first year competing at Crufts, and Stacey delighted to be competing in championship class. Oh dear. Delighted she may be, but that's going to be an elimination.
Yeah, unfortunately picked up 5 for the seesaw, not touching the ground, and I think she was dwelling on that because she knew she was going to be marked on it, and then just concentration lapse and let the dog go in the wrong obstacle.
This is a good little dog though. She got it right. There's a lot of pace and agility. Look at the spring in the heels.
Yeah. And again, this is another partnership who just seems to have come really good in the last 12 months, and again, we will be seeing a lot more of Stacey, I am absolutely sure.
One to take note of, and maybe to look out for next year, even though this year isn't going to be theirs.
And again, wasn't touching the ground, and then I think she was just dwelling on that and was a bit late calling the dog off the tunnel, and he said, no, I'll fancy that, he says.
Daniel Croxford's only 17 years old from Whitstable, and this with an 8-year-old Sheltie cross called Bess. Time to beat, 38.508. Competed in Netherlands, Italy and Australia, and part of the Team GB in 2014, and hoping to build on the partnership here.
I think they were very excited as well that the Kennel Club is also supporting a team that's going to the Junior European Open, so we're really pleased, and Daniel's going to be part of that team.
Fairly careful weaving from Bess through the weaves, through the poles, but it was successfully accomplished. And now on the downslope of the dog walk, once again, absolutely right, no penalties imposed there. 2 more to go over. Oh, a little bit wide, and there was time taken there. Clear round, but 43.041. That puts into 7th place.
Only 17, but seems to have been competing forever. A member of the Young Kennel Club, been doing agility for a lot of years, and the dog thought it was finished. He was on his way out the tunnel. He thought it was all over, I think, to coin a phrase.
And it is now. Bernadette Bay with Zaz. 7-year-old Sheltie from Fittleworth in West Sussex. Zaz has won Crufts Championships, Crufts Singles and the British Open, but it's not going to be right this time. And straight away, 5 imposed, and that might mean that Bernadette is not going to be into the final tonight with Zaz.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. 5 faults, so she's an extremely competent and good handler. She knows now that she's just got to keep going, concentrate, try and get the dog round clear. I don't think I've ever seen that dog do that before in my life.
Well, just goes to show it can happen to the best of them. Enthusiastic, barking, lovely close turn there, and this is a quick time, very good, 38.114, and that's actually the quickest time we've had, but with those 5 faults, but going so well, then maybe it's still going to be good enough.
Could well be, and although it was the quickest time, it was also helped by not even slowing down a nano bit by going up that seesaw. But there we go. Dogs are dogs, as you say.
Indeed. So the quickest, 38.508. That's your small agility result. That's Fling with Lucy Osborne, who was the winner there, ahead of Bonnie Quick and Donna Curse. Clive Foden there, the grand old man, he's through in 4th place. And you can see that we had 7 clear rounds there, and then that quickest time, 8th place, with just 5 faults from the very experienced Bernadette Bay. 4 eliminations, they can't take any place in the final. Likewise, those 3. So that's the agility standings, and now we move on to the overall standings, and Bonnie Quick is through as the lead qualifier with Donna Curse and Lucy Osborne. Bonnie Quick with Shelley Crufts, who performed really well here in both classifications this morning. And the final, remember, coming up tonight at 5 to 5. So onwards now with the medium dogs. This is Heather Mclean from Ayton in Berwickshire in Scotland with Mooey, 9-year-old working sheepdog. Bounced back from a lot of problems as Mooey. 2 major operations at the end of 2014 in which a tumour was removed from her jaw, involving the removal of jaw and nasal bones, but she says she is just honoured to be running what she describes as a just awesome little dog.
Loves the big occasion, to this pairing, a fantastic partnership, known them for quite a few years now, and Heather will be just busting her gut. She wants to get this dog round clear and show, and as I say that, picks up 5 for elimination now as she comes round towards the finish, and this is going to be really good time. This is going to set the mode. 40.658, 5 faults for refusal.
Yeah, it was such a shame, going really nicely. Not the fastest dog, but choosing decent lines. But here's the refusal. Oh dear.
Yes, trying to get a tight turn and just cued the dog too early to turn. And then, of course, the second time it's far easier.
Jennifer Kent with Max, a 5-year-old Patterdale from Luncarty in Perth. This is Jennifer's first agility dog, and they've been part of the Scottish team at the WAO for the last 2 years. Through the tunnel a little bit hesitantly, and then a fairly decent turn, and it's a little bit safety first. Ooh, just jump onto the A-frame, but no problem.
Still, it's very difficult sometimes. We might say this dog's just a little bit steady, but it's not necessarily a true reflection of how they normally run, because we don't run hardly any competitions on this type of carpet. But she's doing really well, and she's going to go clear, and hopefully she's going to be within the course time of 51 seconds.
Well, they have to do that, or otherwise penalty points would be imposed, but she's going to be well inside that. And Jennifer coming up towards the final jump, and Max goes clear, and a time of 46.7.
Two-footed method through there, right the way down to the bottom of that dog walk. Very nicely done, good control.
So next on the line,
a Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever for Amanda Hansen, a 9-year-old bitch this. Rogue has been to Crufts a number of times and loves the atmosphere, always very enthusiastic. Competitor, yes, but a much-loved pet as well of Amanda Hansen, and moving beautifully. Crowd love to see a different breed in these agility events, and this one's going well.
Really very reliable combination. Has been in the international teams more times than I can remember, and it's what you want. You want a dog that's reliable but also very quick, that you can count on perhaps for your anchor leg.
Nicely over the dog walk, all clean so far, and this is going to be a sharp time. 2 jumps still, up towards the final jump and way inside. 40.041, a little jump of joy. Well done.
Very good. She's very competitive, is Amanda. Always wants to show the breed off to its best ability. Nova Scotia duck tolling retrievers, great breed for agility.
This is Wiz, a 4-year-old border collie with Jenny Lambert from York. Her second time at Crufts, a loyal and faithful dog. Jenny says that is a picture of a loyal and faithful dog. That's Wiz. Over the seesaw. Just about okay. Have to wait for the seesaw to be grounded. Oh dear. And there's an elimination.
Such a shame there, and again fairly on in the course, and it's a little bit soul destroying sometimes, but what she needs to do is try not to communicate that to dogs. She needs to try and keep it a positive experience, because she's going to have an eye, hopefully this is only 4, of coming back next year, and she wants the dog to take a positive memory so that it'll come back and just enjoy it as much as it is now.
Lovely through the weaves. And the dog coming up now towards the dog walk and doing that well as well. So Wiz, pretty little dog, really nice bitch. Over the final jump now. Not going to be this time, but the crowds enjoyed seeing her, and so did we.
You're right, lovely little dog, just almost what I would call, oh, yep, and unfortunately not getting herself in quite the right position. The dog's saying, what were you doing stood in front of that jump? I love the expression on these dogs' faces.
Here's a staffy. This is Gemma Haycock with Ruby from Northampton. Simply Red Rubes. Let's see how Rubes can moat around here. That's good so far. Good again. Through the tunnel. And it's all looking okay so far. Needs a nice tight turn, gets it, and now coming through the collapsible tunnel and onto the A-frame, and ooh, that was close. Was it okay? No infringement given.
No, really good A-frame there, no time wasted at all. That's what they're all trying to achieve, and you can see she's handling this dog at quite a distance.
And what a cracking little dog it is. Staffies may not be the quickest you would think, but unfortunately 5 faults have been given. But it's a really quick time, went beautifully, and 5 faults.
Such a shame. I think she just got into the mode there. She was pushing and pushing, and I think she probably forgot that she just needs to be having an eye to this final, but we'll just have to wait and see whether 5 faults is going to be good enough.
This is Linda Cummings with Phoenix, a 4-year-old working sheepdog from County Durham. Nixie, Linda calls the dog, and says Nixie is such a character, so much fun to be around, loves agility so much, and as she says, whoopsie daisy, a joy to run through the tunnel. You can see the slippiness sometimes of this carpet surface, a little bit different for the dogs to get used to adjust to. Nicely over the A-frame, done safely.
Very nicely over the A-frame, just needs to focus the dog onto the weaves, and again, doesn't quite make it, it goes to the left, which means that that's a refusal. She takes it back and corrects it, so now we're back on track again.
Bark of happiness, where do I go? Nixie says, over the dog walk, that's okay this time. And now turning to the final 3 jumps, and turning for the finish, coming the long way round, but it doesn't matter, 5 faults, 44.469.
Very nice round there, and again the dog just not picking up the right side, and again I think that was because the handler was heading off in a slightly different direction, so again a little bit of confusion.
Stig is a 5-year-old working Cocker Spaniel with Jessica Warford from Bristol. Their first time at Crufts. Sunday name for Stig. You like this? Daemonic Top Gear. Therefore Stig. Get it? Over the seesaw. Nicely over the jumps there as well, which have caught out so many. An enthusiastic barking as Stig goes through the 2 tunnels and now over the A-frame. Nicely done.
He's having a fantastic time in it. Don't let anybody ever try and convince you that these dogs aren't enjoying it. This is just a big game to them. And he's barking at us saying, come on, where do you want me to go now? Tell me, tell me, tell me.
And this is good. Over the dog walk, all clear so far. Now turning towards the closing stages. We look at the clock, 40.041. Can it just get there? No, not quite. 40.705, and that's into 3rd place.
And how tight is this?
I beg your pardon, I've sold it short. 2nd place.
All right. Didn't even break stride there.
We have Joe Gleed working Rumble from Coventry, local lass, working in Crufts.
Joe Gleed with Rumble. 3-year-old crossbreed Springer Cocker Spaniel from Coventry. Rumble is Joe's first medium-sized dog. Usually a very, very chilled out, but a lot of fun to run. But Joe says a calm and sensible part of the team.
Really pleased for Jo. She's had a great 12 months. She's put in a lot of hard work. Anyone watching this thinks, oh, this looks easy. I can assure you there are hundreds of hours of training gone in to get a dog to this standard, and it's just starting to pay off now for Jo. You can see this is going to be a great round.
It's looking very good so far. Still got to be clean, but coming round now to the final 3 jumps. Keep an eye on the clock. It could be the best so far. There's a chance. There's a chance. Oh dear! Oh dear, dear, dear. What a shame. What a shame. But a lovely run from Rumble.
Jo. Oh, so well. Taking the positives, it's only the 5 faults there for refusal. So
how did that happen?
I think just relaxed. Just totally relaxed. Assumed that the dog would do it. Never assume anything from a dog.
Jackie Tarn. This is Paris, a 3-year-old working sheepdog. They're down from Barnard Castle. Paris, says Jackie, a super little dog. She ran in the Crufts team this year as well. And there's Paris. Over the seesaw, carefully. And okay, no penalty faults imposed there. Those jumps there have caught out a good few, but Paris goes clear well through the collapsible jump. Now over the A-frame, playing safe again. And they look at the time and going well, Graham.
Onto the quicker section of the course now, nicely into the weaving poles. Good style through there. She needs to avoid the obvious entrance to the tunnel. Oh, and a little bit of confusion there.
What a shame. And 5 faults there. A smile on the face of Jackie. She's not too worried about it. I don't think she'll be a bit disappointed, but the dog is going round beautifully. The crowd enjoying it, and Paris is going to go over the final barrier, but with 3 faults. Final jump. I must stop saying barrier.
And there we go. That's the reward for the dog at the end there, tugging and too busy barking, just looking not quite clear enough with her cues.
Dolly, says Rebecca Sargent, is her dog of a lifetime. A 7-year-old border collie from Warrington. Favourite things are the colour pink and anything sparkly underneath that long hair. Dolly has got a sparkly collar on. Now, jumping well and through the tunnel. A lot of vociferous encouragement from Rebecca.
Over the years, learnt to respond to the big occasion, and they don't get any bigger than this. The championship round at Crufts. She'll be busting her gut to try and get into the final. Come on.
Weaving well over the long jump. Got to be clear, that's the principal objective, but this is going to be quick as well. Played safe on the down slope of the dog walk and doing so well, but this is really good. And round now towards the final jump, and 37.48438. Rebecca noisily celebrates, and Dolly's done her proud. That's the quickest.
Building up into an absolutely fantastic climax this competition. No time wasted. running, always making sure that she's in front of the dog. The dog always wants to come towards you more than it wants to go away.
This is Linda Cummings with Cooper.
Linda Cummings with Cooper. Urban Myth No Worries, the full name, and as all dogs, says Linda, Cooper is one in a million. They're down from County Durham, going very wide there, and no faults imposed, but time lost, I'm afraid.
It is. Again, some dogs cope with this carpet better than others. Also, a lot of people will go and try and find some carpet that they can go and practice on. It's all about preparation and planning for these big events.
And now we see how well Cooper can go through the weaves, and the answer is very well indeed. They've had their sticky moments on this round, but making up for it with the speed of Cooper across the ground, and nicely there, now turning towards the final three. It's not going to be quick enough to win it, but it's a very sharp round. Over clear in 39.04 into second place.
Yes, didn't start off too well, a little bit of confusion there, but picked up, gained its confidence, and actually got its footing a lot better as the round went on.
Sue Cooper with Mitzi, who is a 4-year-old Yorkie cross from Oswestry. Last at Crufts in 2014, but in 2015 represented Great Britain in Germany as members of Team GB. And Mitzi, in December, had a litter of puppies. So this is a mum going round there competing.
Quick dog this, very quick dog. Again, just struggling to get it on the right lines here. A bit all over the place, 5 faults there.
Well, a shame. So quick. Sue having to really battle to try and keep up with this little character. And Mitzi going wide there. Now round to the final three. 5 faults. It's a little bit of a case of what might have been here, because that is a really quick dog.
I think so, and I think she'll be glad that that's round over. You get these rounds where you never succeed in catching up with yourself. And that's what happened here. And I think, look at the height over that jump.
Mitzi loved it. Natasha Wise with Dizzy, a 9-year-old Border Collie, 3 times world champion, 6 times Olympia champion, and second last year to Sean Illingworth. This is one of the favourites. Dizzy, still a terrific competitor at 9 years old, and a very experienced handler in Natasha Wise. This could be good.
None better. I almost give up trying to find superlatives about this partnership. I just can't watch them enough, and you can see why. It really is poetry in motion. Look at the way she just leaves the dog, trusts it to do those. Coming up now, there won't be no time wasted on this.
Synergy, I think you say. Dog and handler as one. Now 3 jumps still to go. It's going to be quick. This is going to be the fastest so far. If they can get over, and they do, 35.978 into the lead. Terrific stuff.
And what you say, and look at it. Look, just the first thing she wants to do is just play with the dog, give it a kiss, just tell him how proud she is of that dog. They truly are a magical partnership.
Well, that lays down the standard. Look at that, lovely. Sean Illingworth won Crufts last year. This is Maybe, 6-year-old Border Collie from Shirley in Surrey. And I think you're going to be seeing Sean maybe playing it a wee bit safe here, just to make sure on qualification, making sure no possible elimination. But again, this is a real... Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Oh, dear soul.
Took a wrong jump, a wrong fence, and with that, it's an elimination. And so Sean, last year's champion, won't be in tonight's final.
No, and I think she's just decided to go on out, keep the dog. Look, immediately she plays with the dog, so again the dog takes positives out of this round. And also she'd be really, really disappointed, but doesn't take anything away from the fact that the dog is fantastic, and so is Sean.
So Natasha Wise leading the way, the time 35.978 to beat, and this is Samantha Lane with 8-year-old Cocker Spaniel called Dime from Milton Keynes. And Samantha says that Dime loves the crowd and loves Crufts, but she didn't love the seesaw too much.
No, and unfortunately picks up a refusal there on the next obstacle as well. Not the best of starts, nothing that Sam would have wanted, but now again she must just try and keep it positive And another refusal, so that's 15 faults here as we go around.
Dime's enjoying it. Lots of happy barking, making the turn, and now towards the weaves. The slalom approach, you could call it.
He's having a fantastic time. He's just, I don't know about Sam, but Dime's having a great time.
15 faults. Where do I go now? Where do I go now? I'll go that way. And now 3 to clear, 2 to clear. Round we go to the final jump. Over we go. Dime's having a whale of a time, but I don't think we're going to be seeing him later.
And I'm sat here laughing, and I'm not laughing at Sam. I'm just laughing at Dime because he's having the time of his life here. He doesn't care. He doesn't know where he is or what he's supposed to be. It's just, yeah, he's having a great time, and that's exactly how it should be, John.
Last competitor in the medium category of these agility tests. This is Danny Clark with Kelly, 9-year-old border collie from Eastbourne, been competing in agility for nearly 20 years as Danny, but this is his first dog to qualify at Crufts.
And I actually think we have on the course at the moment Stephen Richardson.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Stephen Richardson with Libby, 9-year-old crossbreed from Carlisle. Good spot, Graham, sorry about that, turned over 2 cards at once.
Yep, not a problem at all. I've known Stephen a number of years, been on some of the teams that I've taken abroad. Great competitor, will always want to do well. Going clear at the moment, this is going to be well within the course time here as he comes up here. 41.232. Again, he had just half a mind on the clock going round there, making sure that there were no possibilities that he was going to get eliminated, and a great round there from Stephen.
Silver medal last year in the World Agility Open. But this is Danny Clark with Kelly, 9-year-old border collie from Eastbourne. Very proud, he says, of little Kelly, who's had a terrific year in agility. And a nice clean start. That's the time that's got to be beaten if he's going to win this agility competition here. But trying, of course, to get round clear and to have a chance of going into the final, the big final tonight. And that's nicely through the weaves.
Good. Another lovely little medium border collie here. Very quick over the ground. Seeing more and more border collies now coming into the medium section than we ever used to.
Coming to the final 2 jumps and a bit of a slow and wide turn, but safely over, and that's a clear round in 40.535.
Still a very respectable time.
5th place.
Nice and carefully up over these contacts, making sure he gets at least a paw or a claw on them. And a great competition there, John.
Indeed. So we can bring you the results for the mediums, and victory there, as you see, for Natasha Wise with Dizzy, 35.978, and Rebecca Sargent second with Dolly, 37.483, and Linda Cummings and Cooper taking 3rd place. 8 in all were through with clear rounds, so excellent performance there from them. And you see down there some of those who didn't go quite so well. Managing to get round though, and a big shock. Last year's winner, Sean Illingworth, eliminated and so won't be into tonight's final. Overall classification then, and Natasha Wise overall takes it ahead of Linda Cummings and Rebecca Sargent. Top 9 to go through. So you can see for yourself those who will go through to tonight's final. And these are the ones just missing out. Maurice Cook, Director of Obedience, Agility and Events. He's the one who's going to be making the presentation here. And our first winner from the large classification, Lucy Osborne. I beg your pardon, they've decided to go in a different order. So it was small, first of all, Lucy Osborne with fling. And now we go with the winner of the medium classification with Natasha Wise and Dizzy, ahead of Rebecca Sargent and Dolly. And then finishing with large and agility champion Jackie Tarn with Becca. And second place Dave Munnings taking second place. And now the well-deserved lap of honour.